Okay, friends, let's talk a little bit about what happens when you go to make a change, when you discover that you want to do more with your life or be more in your life. I'm going to draw a little bit for you here because I like pictures. So bear with me. There are some laws that are like gravity. They're universal laws that we're going to use a little bit to help us get to where we want to go. When you become aware of a goal or something that you expect or want from a situation or from your life in general, what happens when your desire is awakened? You always have desires. Desire for your life is a God-given thing. It's part of what you were put here to do and what you were made to do. As you become aware of what is possible in the world, you'll become aware of why you're here. And maybe not how you're going to get there, which is fine because you're going to grow into it. But just that there's greater possibilities than where you're at right now, that the results that you have right at this moment are not the end all and be all. They're not everything. So as we're going through this process, everybody has what they want their end to be. They got a goal, right? Or we might call this your expectations or your hopes. And I don't use hope in the way of a wishful thinking kind of thing. Hope, and this is from the Bible, this is from the dictionary, it's an expectant kind of thing. It's a, I know this can happen. I know this will happen thing. It's a holding on to possibilities and potential kind of thing, but you're grabbing on and holding on to it. So you have these things about your life, things that you want. You're now aware. Awareness opens your eyes. It helps you become aware of the possibilities of things. The next step is, and we're going to change our color for this next step here. The next step toward it is that you have to make a decision. You decide if you're going to go for it or if you're going to settle. And you can probably think back to things that this was happened in small ways for you, where you became aware of two choices and you had to decide. No different here. Awareness. You make a decision. Are you going to go for it or are you going to settle? Are you going to do the uncomfortable and difficult, perhaps? Or are you going to go with all of the negative things that say, you can't do it, you don't have what it takes, you're not enough, the world isn't ready for this, or I don't know, whatever negative thing goes on, and settle and stay stuck where you are? You make a decision. It's that simple. That's the next step. As soon as you make that decision, the universe starts honoring your decision. Either way, what you ask for, you get. Ask and you'll receive. You ask, but then you make a decision to not go into that discomfort, not do the difficult things, and you're going to get what you have really asked for, which is comfort and stuckness. So you become aware of possibilities. You make a decision to go for it. You start to adapt. Things start to flow. You start to realize, this might be how it happens. The door's open. You just step through one door at a time. One door at a time. You don't have to know how you're going to get all the way up here to your goals, expectations, and hopes. You just have to make a decision to go through the doors that open, to do the things. You start to adapt. You start to grow. You start to see, oh, I start to see how this could happen. This is starting to work. What is possible? Grow and change. Repeat the cycle over and over and over. Awareness. One part of awareness, if you're going to go and you want to get all the way up here, it's important to know where you are down here. You need to know where you're at. It's one thing to have awareness of possibilities, but if you don't know where you're at right now, it's hard to have a firm footing and to know what you're growing into. If you don't know where you're starting, you have no idea of the gains. All you're aware of yet is the gap. And when you are focused on the gap of where you think you are to where you want to be, that's a negative space. That's a lot of space, and that's cooling and scary. You identify where you are, your baseline right now. Then you know where your gains are. And when you see gains, that is a place of growth. Those are your roots that help support the growth. You know, a plant, if it doesn't have a good root system, is very limited in its growth. It can only get so big. It will be spindly. It can't pull in the nutrients and pull in what it needs in order to put the good, strong growth on. That's what getting familiar with your baseline does. If you want to make more money, you need to know how much money you're actually making right now. You need to know what your resources are. You need to have a good idea of, if you want to build something, know what it's going to cost to build, so that you know very clearly what you have and what your resources are now, and where you need to be and what the resources are that you need in order to grow. That way you know when you're gaining. That's the importance of this first step in awareness, is becoming aware of not only the possibilities out there, but also where you're at right now. So you know the small steps that you can do to get to where you really want to go. So identifying very clearly, what money do you have? What resources do you have? How much energy do you have? What food are you currently eating? You can just go down the line. Be very specific and be very honest. If you know you want to eat healthier, and right now you say, oh, I'm eating at McDonald's on my way home from work 5 nights a week. It might be a scary realization and a scary level of honesty, and you know your baseline. You know, oh, if I only eat out 4 nights a week, dang, I'm making a gain. I'm going to do better now. I can eat healthier. And you start to say, oh, okay. So in my house, I have this to cook with. That's a little scary. Now you know how you can improve. Gaining that baseline awareness, even if you think you have nothing, you're doing nothing, you are nothing. Start identifying what is. Identify your baseline. It gives you a place to grow from. That's your starting point. And when you're real clear on it, it helps you get to where you want to go. So that's what we're doing right now. It's just getting really clear on your baseline so that you know where you need to go and what you have that you can build on. So ready, set, go. Start making your baseline.